I'm Tara with Simply Made Eats and welcome back to my channel. Today we are making this pasta primavera. Primavera actually means spring in Italian, so I figured it would be the best recipe to make for spring. Plus I love pasta, so why not? This is actually a vegetarian recipe, but if you're like meh, you could always add chicken on top, it'd be delicious. Let's get started with this easy recipe. The first thing I've done is chop up a bunch of veggies, and the reason why I love this recipe so much is you can literally go into your fridge and pick out whatever you can. I've got carrots, red peppers, celery, zucchini and squash, broccoli. I also have some kale cut up. You can use spinach instead, but this is one of those recipes where you can just kind of use what you have. So for our next step, we're gonna get our pasta water boiling. I always like to add a little bit of olive oil and salt to my water. And we're only gonna cook our penne pasta until al dente. So on the package, it'll say, this one says 11 to 12 minutes. We only wanna cook it that long because we want our pasta al dente. And we're gonna remember when we drain our water, we need to save a 1/4 cup of pasta water for our sauce. This just creates the perfect creamy sauce at the end, so it's really important to save it. As our pasta is cooking, we're gonna go ahead and get started with our veggies. I've got the stovetop on medium heat, and I'm using a Dutch oven because this way I can just add everything, the pasta, the sauce, everything at the end into this pot, and it's just really simple. So we're gonna add in olive oil. This is just 2 tablespoons. And just let it heat up a bit before we add our veggies. Okay, so once our oil is heated up, we're gonna add in our veggies. The only thing we're not adding in here is the kale or spinach, whatever one you decide to use. Basically all the hard veggies are going in right now, because we need to cook these down. I'm gonna sprinkle just a little bit of salt in here to help soften these. And I'm gonna stick the lid on for a few minutes. For the last minute, we're just gonna add our kale in. I like to just toss it in here. And we're just gonna cook this with the lid on for a couple minutes. Okay, so that kale is wilted down, looks really good. We are gonna turn our heat off and just push this to the back of the stovetop. We don't need any heat on it. And I like to grab my pasta water like right at the end when my stuff's done, because for some reason when I go to dump it, I'll just forget and I'll dump all of it out and it drives me nuts. So I'll just take a little ladle full out and stick it on the stovetop for whenever I'm ready to make my sauce. Okay, so time for our best part, the sauce. We're gonna heat our heat up to a little bit less than medium and add in our butter. Okay, once that melts, we're gonna add in our garlic. And this just needs to cook for about 30 seconds to a minute. We don't want to burn it at all. Next, add your cream. And we don't want this to boil, we really just want it to warm up. So we're gonna turn our heat down a tiny bit. And we're just gonna let this come together for about 3 or 4 minutes. Okay, now we're gonna add in our salt and pepper. We're gonna turn our heat off completely and add in our cheese. This is gonna make it nice and thick, but remember that we still have our pasta water to add in, so that'll help thin it out. Once your cheese starts to melt, we're just gonna add a little bit of pasta water in. You might not use the full 1/4 cup, but it really does create this like really creamy consistency. And if it looks like your cheese isn't melting, you can put your heat back on low. This looks so good. Okay, so we're gonna add pasta back into our Dutch oven. And then over the top, we're gonna add this sauce. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. like to do this so I can get all the rest of that Parmesan cheese. This pan's super heavy. Okay, and then we're just gonna toss this. And I still have a little bit of pasta water saved. If I wanna put a little bit in the end, I can. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so good. Yeah, so I'm just gonna add a tiny bit of pasta water. It just helps make it nice and creamy. Yum, I cannot wait to eat this. And finally, it is time for the taste test. I can't wait to try it. It looks so good, so creamy. This is delicious. It's the perfect spring recipe. So that's it, you guys. We are all done with this veggie-packed pasta primavera. It's so good, such an easy weeknight meal, and it's perfect for those vegetarian meatless Mondays. Make sure you try this one and let me know in the comments how it goes. And make sure to subscribe so we can keep cooking together. I love making easy meals to help you keep your life just a little bit simpler. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time.